Yeshua, you can dry his feet. I'll take honey from underneath. So Manish was smiling. It means it must have been very good. And then we have the Panch Amrit. So Panch Amrit is a drink of milk, yogurt, honey, ghee and sugar. And this will be given to you as well. So Yeshua, if you take this, and I have a spoon. You can give at least 3 spoons. If he wants more, you can give him more. No problem. He's the Vajraja today. Yeah. Om Madhuparko Madhuparko Madhuparkam Pratigrihtam. Om Madhuparkam Pratigrihanami. Om Kalamrityu Haranam Sarvavyadi Vinashanam. Vishnu Padodakam Pitva Shira Sadharayamiham. Hari Om. Nice, huh? Okay. So now we're going to be performing the Kanya Agamam, which is Maya's entrance into the ceremony. So if we can have for the underbird middle.
Parlan na. see. But she wasn't sure.
Ladies, I'm going to ask you just to hold the umbrella. Maya is now ready for the Kanya Agam. Hari Om. Om Kanya Pratamaya Patilokam Yati Mimatikshamayasha. Kanya Utifaya Vyamkara. Udhanya Evati Doni Mahi Krishna. Hari Om. Maya, behind this undercut cloth is a very eager individual. He's very eager to see you. So ladies, I'm going to be reciting a mantra. When I finish the mantra, you can lower the undercut and will allow the couple to see each other, at least for the first time today. Traditionally in India, this would be the first time they ever see each other. I'm sure Maya and Manish have seen each other at least once before today. But it will be the first time in the bridal attire. Hari Om, Om Vainam Kavant Marabrinda Valaya Daksha Barhavatam Samasitam Buddhasundar Angam Kanthar Pakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Hari Om. I could see as the underbutt was getting lower and lower, Manish's smile was getting bigger and bigger. Very nice moment. So if I can ask you both to stand and just come to the front of the mandap and face each other. We're going to be performing the Jai Mala. So the Jai Mala is a tradition that goes back to the time of Sita and Ram. So it's said that Sri Ram was very, very tall. He was 9 foot tall. And Sita was very short. She was only 5 foot tall. Not like Maya. And Sita was struggling to offer the garland. So what happened was that Lakshmanji came, he fell at the feet of his brother, and as Sri Ram bent down to lift him up, Sita could offer the garland. So this garland represents the heart. So following in the footsteps of Sita when she married Sri Ram and Lakshmi when she married Narayan, Maya, can you please offer the garland of your heart to your groom? Can we have a big round of applause? Om Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Gurudadvaja Mangalam Pundrikaksha Mangalayatano Hari. So Sita had offered her garland to Sri Ram, but there was one more problem. The problem was Sri Ram went pagal. He went mad. Because he was so captivated by the beauty of the bride, everywhere he looked, he was seeing Sita's face. So Sita's family were very upset, and they were worried that Sri Ram may garland the wrong person. So they went to Sri Ram and said, Ram, Ami Janak, Mama Sita. I'm Janak, this is the family, and this is Sita. Make sure you garland the right person. So I think ever since you've seen Maya today, you've become intoxicated as well. And everywhere you look, you're just seeing Maya's face. And I don't want you to garland me by accident. My wife won't be very happy. So following in the footsteps of Sri Ram, we request you to offer the garland of your heart to your bride. Give a big round of applause. Om Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu Mangalam Gurudadvaja Mangalam Pundrikaksha Mangalayatano Hari Hari Om. And then you can take your seats when you're ready. So as we begin the Vidhi, we're going to be performing Arjman. Arjman means to purify. So this is the equivalent of having a bath in Ganga Ma herself. I can ask all 4 of you to give your right hand. I will give you some Ganga Jal. When I finish the mantras, you can sip the water. Hari Om, Om Keshvaya Namaha, Om Narayana Namaha, Om Madhavaya Namaha. Sip the water. If you give me your hand again, when I finish the mantra, you can spill the water onto the floor. Hari Om, Om Pavitra Pavitra Vasra Vavastam Gatopiva, Yasmarit Pundrikaksham Sabhaya Bhayantara Shuchi, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Hari Om. Now there's some tissues there, if anyone needs any tissues. So at this moment, we'll be reciting a mantra called the Shanti Panchakam. So Shanti means peace, to settle any nerves, also to invoke a peaceful atmosphere. Not that we need it in this magnificent temple, but they will still add to the ambience. If I can ask everyone to please fold your hands, if you'd like to close your eyes, These prayers are actually from the Rig Veda. It's a very, very ancient prayers, recited by the Maharaj just before the Vidhi. Hari Om. Om Shamno Mitra Shamvaruna Shamno Bhavata Varyama Shamno Indro Brihaspatihi Shamno Vishnu Urukramaha Namo Brahmanye Namaste Vayu Tvam Eva Prataksha Brahmasi Tvam Eva Prataksha Brahma Vadisham Ratamavadisham Satyamavadisham Tanmavavit Tad Bhaktaram Avit Avid Mam Avid Bhaktaram Om Shantihi 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 Om Shamno Mitra Shamvaruna Shamno Bhavata Varyama Shamno Indro Brihaspatihi Shamno Vishnu Urukramaha Namo Brahmanye Namaste Vayu Tvameva Prataksha Brahmasi Tvameva Prataksha Brahma Vadisham Ratamavadisham Satyamavadisham Tanmama Vittad Vaktaram Avit Avid Mam Avid Vaktaram Om Shantihi 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 Om Sahana Vavatau Sahanu Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahe Tejasvina Vaditam Astuma Vidishvavahe Om Shantihi 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 Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudhachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnam Eva Vishishyate Om Shantihi 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 Om Tacham Yara Vrinhimahe Gatam Yagya Pataye Deve Svastirastu Na Svastir Manushebhyo Udvam Javatu Ji Vaishajam Shamno Astu Dvipade Sham Chatuspade Om Shantihi 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 Om. So hopefully no one fell asleep. We don't want too much Shanti, but a little Shanti is good for the Vidhi. So at this stage, on this budget, we have a Kalash. We're going to be inviting the presence of Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and Lord Vishnu himself in this Nariyal here. The reason we invite God is that when you make your vows in a few moments, you'll do them in the presence of the Lord. It gives you more urgency. I need to keep these vows now. So if I can ask you both just to give your right hand, you can do it from there. I'll give you some akshata rice, choka, and some flowers. When I finish the mantras, I will take the flowers and then I'll offer it to the Kalash. Hari Om. Om Kalashasya Vishnu Mantre Kadra Samsita Muletasya Stito Brahma Matre Vitragana Samvrita Kakshatu Sagara Sapta Sapta Dvipivara Sundara Gange Yamuna Chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmada Sindhu Kaveri Jalasmin Sanidhi Karu Hari Om. Om Swastina Govinda Swastina Chutananto Swastino Vasudevor Vishnur Dadhatu Swastino Narayana Naro Vai Swastina Padmanabha Purushottama Dadhatu Swastino Vaintane Yoharihi Swastina Janasuto Hanur Bhagavata Dadhatu Om Swasti Swasti Sumangala Keshu Mahan Shri Krishna Satchitananda Gana Sarveshwareshwaro Dadhatu Hari Om. So this mantra invites the presence of the Lord, and therefore the mandap is also known, it comes from the word mandir, where the deity and the murti of God are worshipped. So now we'll be making our first vow, okay, in the presence of God. So this is called a sankalpa. Sankalpa is a declaration to everyone here that you will stay in the ceremony until the very end, and you'll do everything I ask of you, but with a happy heart. Because sometimes we can do things but with resentment in the heart, but we'll do it with happiness. So I can ask all of you to give your right hand. Again, I will give you some akshata rice. Now there's going to be lots of left and rights here. So once you have the rice, can you cover your right hand with your left hand and hold both hands over your right knee? Fantastic. When I finish the mantras, you'll then empty onto the floor at the end. So when a sankalpa, a vow, is being taken, especially for the vidhi that we're doing today, the Maharaj will recite according to the Hindu calendar, the Indian calendar, astrological calculations. So I've already worked out the constellation of the stars, the course and direction of the sun on the day you're making this commitment. So I'll recite these mantras, and at the end you will need to say your father's name and then your name. Yeah? Hari Om, Om Vishnu Om Tat Sat Adya Brahmano Dvitiya Paradheshva Tavraha Kalpe Vaivastaki Manvantre Ashtavim Shakti Kali Yugasya Pratma Sandhyaya Yam Brahma Vimshato Varatmanayam So a little warning that the Indian calendar is slightly different from what we're used to here in England. Indian calendar goes by the moon, not by the sun. So the year is very different. The year is actually 2078. Samvatsare Dakshinayane Varsharato Shravanmashi Shukla Pakshe Karkarashi Stiti Bhaskare Ekadashi Tithau Budvar Vanavitayam Ashlesha Nakshatra Samyutanam Jambudvipe Bharat Khande Medibutasya Samryo Dakshne Lavanarasnavasyotre Kone Gangaya Paschime Bhage. So Manish, if you could say your father's name and your name very loudly, please. Fantastic. Maya? Not Patel just yet. Jai Shivan. And Nikhil bhai. Shri Krishna Priti Artham Vivaha Samskara Karmaham Karishyami Hari Om. You can empty everything onto the floor. Which means you've just making a vow that you'll do everything I ask. And as the family of Maya, I'm going to ask you now to do what is sometimes described as the most difficult thing for family to do. The next stage is the most important part of the Vidhi. It's called the Sri Kanya Sampradanam, the giving of the bride's hand. So a few years ago, a friend of mine had, true story, she had given birth in the hospital and she texted me her first child. She texted me on my phone, she said, Maharaj, you're supposed to be the family Maharaj, you're supposed to be my friend, you haven't even texted me, congratulations. So I went to see her at the hospital and I was holding her daughter's 4 years old now, her name's Tulsi Gopi, little baby at the time. I was holding her in the hospital and I said to my friend, I goes, how do you feel, your first child? And she said, Maharaj, if I'm honest, I'm devastated. So I thought maybe the trauma, of giving birth. She goes, I'm devastated, I have a girl. So I said, how can you feel like this? And she says, no, Maharaj, you've misunderstood. She said, the moment the midwife gave me my daughter in my arms, she said, I felt so much love and affection. She says, I've never known anything like it. And she said to me, already I'm dreading the day where I'm going to have to perform the Kanyadan because I want my daughter to be with me forever. So now that day has come in your lives. So if I can ask all four of you to please stand at this point for the Kanyadan. And Manish's parents, you can come into the mandap, and then we'll also be here for the Kanyadan. Dinishka Kavi. So Maya, if I can ask you just to give me your right hand. And Manish, if you place your hand here. Maya, I want you to empty everything into your hand into yeah, that's right, into Manish. And keep the leaf on top. And your hand on top, and keep it there. Fantastic. So in the Vidhi, it's said that 2 individuals walk in the mandap. By the time we're finished here today, only 1 person walks out. So you'll be united together, physically, emotionally, spiritually, in terms of your destiny, your fate, for the rest of your lives. And this is the moment that will bind you both together. As I said, it's the single most important part of the Vidhi. So Jai Shri Benford, I ask you just to cover their hands with the cloth. And on the cloth we will place this har. This har represents something called prema. In Sanskrit, prema means pure, selfless love. Very rare to find and very special in this world. And we're going to place this har on your hands to bless you that the force that will bind you both together for the rest of your lives will be prema. So Nikhil, if you can also take the har, and you can place that over their hands. You can put your right hand on top. Put your right hand just there. So Manish, your family are here to welcome Maya into your family. So the Kanyadan is done in 3 stages. The first mantra talks about how difficult the Kanyadan can be for the family. Hari Om, Om Kanyadanam Mahadanam Sarvadhanam Sudurlabha. Mantra means that the Kanyadan, dan means gift, so gifting of the bride's hand is considered greatest gift. Because on a wedding occasion, to give away gold, jewelry, nice clothes, these are very easy. But to give the blessings to your daughter to begin a new chapter is very difficult. And therefore is considered the Mahadan. Hari Om, Om Prajapati Vishnu Devatayam Shri Shri Radha Krishna Smaran Purvakam. So Nikhil, if I can ask you to say your full name. Full name, yeah. Okay. I had to think about it for a second. And Jayashiben, if you could say your full name. Shamaradvara Swayam Shri Shri Radha Krishna Udatam Hari Om. This mantra means that we give our daughter the blessings to begin this new chapter, and we perform the Kanyadan with 3 witnesses watching. First witness is the Lord residing in the Kalash. Second witness is the Brahman or the Maharaj. Third witness, ladies and gentlemen, are all of you. It has been done before where the Kanyadan has been performed, and then families had a change of mind and they take the Kanya back. So the famous story in India, thousands of years called Sakshi Gopal. So therefore there's witnesses. So Manish, I'm going to ask you if you accept the responsibility of marriage and you vow to love Maya alone for the rest of her life and no one else. Please very loudly say the words Om Swasti. Om Swasti means in the presence of God, I accept this auspiciousness.
Om Swasti, I accept this auspiciousness.
Okay, can we give a big round of applause? You didn't have to say that I accept this auspiciousness bit, but it's good he said it anyway. I was just telling you what it meant, but anyway, there's no harm. Only for 5 years. And Maya, so well your hand has been offered to the groom. He's been very eagerly accepting your hand, but you must also be happy. So if you accept the responsibilities of marriage and you vow to love Manish alone for the rest of your life and no other, please very loudly only say Om Swasti. She said Om Swasti. A big round of applause. Big responsibility she just accepted. So now I will pour Ganga Jal through your hands, binding you all together. Not only you as the couple, but actually the families as well. This is a union of 2 families. I'll be reciting the ancient Lakshmi Narayan Gayatri mantra, because you are both representative of Lakshmi and Narayan. Hari Om. Om Narayanaaya Vidmahe Vasudevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodayat. Om Trailokya Mohanaya Vidmahe Kamadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Vishnu Prachodayat. Om Mahadevyaya Vidmahe Vishnu Patanyaya Dhimahi Tanno Lakshmi Prachodayat. Hari Om. Om Asya Karmana Punyaham Bhavantu Bhavantu. Om Punyaham Om Punyaham Om Punyaham. Om Asya Karmana Swasti Bhavantu Bhavantu. Ayushman Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti. Om Asya Karmana Riddhim Bhavantu Bhavantu. Om Hridyatam Om Hridyatam Om Hridyatam. Hari Om. Om Shri Kanyadhanam Sanpurnam. So the most important part has been performed. So what will happen now is that we will change the setup of the mandap. Now the Kanyadan has happened, you will now sit next to each other for the rest of the ceremony. Joshuben and Nikibai, I can ask you then to, in a few moments, just to take your seats. But before they do, as a married couple, technically you're married now because the Kanyadan has been performed, we're going to ask for blessings. So if you empty everything onto the floor in front of you, and you can both touch the feet of the family just to get their blessings as you then take the seats. So as the Kanyadan has been performed, we'll present Maya Manish with a gift. Wonderful. So, to celebrate the glorious Kanyadan, Jeshuben, if you'd like to present the couple with the gifts. It's very auspicious to give a gift after performance of the Kanyadan. Wonderful. So now the Kanyadan has been performed. From now until the end of the ceremony, you will both be physically bound together. So the next stage of the ceremony is what we call the Cheda Chedi, the Granthi Bandhan, the Hirdaya Granthi, the Gat Bandhan, or the tying of the knot. It's known by different names. So I think for this we have Ami, if you're here, if you can come and please tie the jewelry. So we're going to have one end tied to Manish, and the other end tied to Maya. You can do that from behind. Yeah. If you make sure it's nice and tight, just to make sure that they don't come loose. No, really, whichever preference they may have. So the tying of the Cheda Chedi is very important. It said this is the binding of your souls together for the rest of your lives. It's a very simple part of the ceremony, but actually has a very deep meaning behind it. So we're binding you together spiritually as one person. Wonderful. And if that wasn't enough, we're still going to bind you even further. So in my hand, I have something called the Var Mala. So people always get confused. You got the Var Raja, you got the Jai Mala, and you got the Var Mala. So this is the long string placed over Manish and Maya. So if we can have the people to please come and put the Var Mala. Okay, so if you like to, so if you open that up. So at this point, I'll recite the mantra. Hari Om. Om Lakshmi Pitambayo Ravati Padaramayo Tata Sita Ramayoscha Shri Durga Shivayor Yatha Devahuti Kardamayo Shri Shachi Magavator Yatha Shatarupa Swambhuvayor Anuka Janmadagnayor Yatha Ahalya Gautamayor Devaki Vasudevayor Mandodri Ravanayor Yashodanandayor Yatha Shri Draupadi Pandavayor, Shri Tarabali Babujaho, Danmayanti Nalakayor, Shri Radha Krishna Yor Yatha, Anayo Kanya Varyostathat Syad, Granthi Bandanam, Hari Om. So now you're very securely tied together. Keep that in mind as you walk around and do your feras. You'll have to do it together to make sure you're not very far apart from each other. So now we're going to be turning up the heat. So the next stage is what we call the Agni Stapana, the lighting of the sacred fire. If you look at any vidhi, the deity of fire is always lit because fire burns to ashes anything it comes into contact with. So we're praying to the Lord that from within your hearts, that He will burn to ashes any what we call anarthas in Sanskrit. Anartha means any unwanted qualities that will stop you from having a blissful marriage. We're hoping that the Lord will burn them to ashes. This fire is known by a different name. It's not known as Agni. This fire is called Yojak. So Yojak means the person who connects. So when you offer grains into this fire, we're asking the Lord to connect you both together on the spiritual level. So therefore the role of this fire is to connect. Hari Om. So this is where I wish I had another 4 arms. Unfortunately, I've only got 2, so I need to pour the mic, I need to offer the diwo, I need to ring the bell and everything, so you can be my Maharaj's assistant today. So when you hear the Sanskrit, you can ring the bell, yeah? Okay. Hari Om, Om Sanat Kumar Vato Kamadevata Dhaya Shishamam Pati Deva Helanata Deva Rishi Varya Purushar Chinantarata Kurmo Mam Niryada Sheshata Om Prajapati Vishnu Rishi Prati Chandaha Shri Vishnu Devata Agni Stapane Viniyogaha Om Bhurbhava Svah Svah Om Om Yojak Namagnya Chetvam Yojak Namasya Vahyami Stapyami Prabhu Kripaya Swagatam Karu Hari Om. So as Yojak has come into the ceremony, we will offer 3 items to worship and to welcome. Agarbatti, some rice and flowers. Hari Om. Om Esha Dhupu Yojak Namagye Namaha. Om Idam Pushpam Yojak Namadye Namaha. Om Idam Nevedyam Yojak Namadye Namaha. Hari Om. Now the ghee and the spoon that we're using to offer into the fire, we will hold over the fire to purify. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Santam Pashanti Suryo Deve Chakshur Atatam Tad Vipraso Vipanyevo Jagravam Sasamindate Vishnu Yat Paramam Padam Aham Krator Ham Yagya Swadam Ham Aushidam Mantro Ham Mahami Vagnir Ham Vagnir Ham Hutam Majjanmana Palamidam Madhukaita Bhare Mat Prarthaniya Madhunugrha Esha Eva Vritti Vritti Paricharaka Vritti Vritta Vrittasis Vritta Timam Smara Lokanatha Hari Om. Thank you. So the deity of Yojak has been invited. Now Maya, before you're allowed to offer anything into the fire, a lady would normally do so with her father or her husband. Now this is a wedding ceremony, so you're going to be offering with your husband. So therefore, you need to look like a married lady. Because the Kanyadan has been performed, so as I said, technically you're already married. Now in Hindu culture, married lady has a uniform of the sindur and the Mangal Sutra. So these are the 2 items that will be gifted to you. So if we can have, do we have the Sindur and Mangal Sutra? If we can have that brought into the mandap. So just some interesting fact. I did some research on the Sindur, where it comes from. So it was a warrior tradition. We'll do the Sindur first, the powder, the red powder first. Yeah? So it was a warrior tradition. So the sindur is the red powder, so that will go on first. The necklace we'll do after that, yeah? So the sindur was 2 or 3 warriors would fight for the hand of the bride. In those days, these are going back thousands of years. And they would fight to the death. And the winning warrior would take the blood of his defeated opponent and place that into the parting of the bride's hair. This is the history of the sindur. So thankfully times have changed. We're not going to ask you to fight anyone here. But the sindur is the red powder, and that will be offered into Maya's hair. So we can use this one. If you hold the thali in your left hand, Manish, with your right hand, your thumb and your third finger. This is what we call the mudra. You're going to place that into Maya's hair. Now remember, you don't want to just clunk it on, because it will fall down and ruin the makeup. But at the same time, you don't want to put too less, otherwise people will be thinking she's not married yet. So just the right amount. Om Sindura eva pradvane shuganasho vatapamiya patiyantiya baha gratatsya dhara arushano vaji kashta bindin urbibi pinvamanaha. Perfect. It's almost like you've been practicing yesterday. A big round of applause, very nicely done. Sometimes it can get very tricky. And now we have the Mangal Sutra, which is the beautiful necklace. So Manish, if you can just show everyone the Mangal Sutra, please, before we place it on. And everyone, if I can ask you to raise your right hand, give your ashirwad, give your blessings to Maya, that she can have a blissful married life. The Vedas explain the Mangal Sutra captures blessings. So from every day for the rest of your life, Maya, now whenever you wear the Mangal Sutra, you'll be carrying very close to your heart the warm well wishes and ashirwad of everyone here. So Manish, if you'd like to now offer this underneath, but if you turn it round, so the diamond bit should be facing the front. Yeah. Om Mahadevya Vidmahe Vishnu Patanya Dhimahi Tanno Lakshmi Prachodayat Hari Om. Okay, perfectly done. Can you give another round of applause? Very smoothly done. You won't believe some of the troubles the grooms can have trying to tie around. So really nicely done. So now Maya, you look like a married lady. You have the beautiful outfit, you have the Sindura and the Mangal Sutra, which means if we can see, Yojak can also see. And now we're ready to perform what we call the Vaishnav Homa, or the offering into the sacred fire. It's said you can feed Lord Vishnu through the cows, through the Brahmins, and through the sacred fire. So we're going to be asking the Lord to give you the spiritual strength, to make sure, to give you the spiritual strength that you can keep the vows that you're about to make. So Manish, if you hold this thali in your left hand, and both of you with your right hand, your thumb, and your two middle big fingers. So Manish, like this. Yeah. You're going to take a little tiny pinch, and with your palm facing upwards, you're going to offer into the fire. If we offer with our palm down, it's like giving, but this is offering. But when you hear the word swaha. So we're asking, I'm going to be reciting lots of mantras now, asking the Lord to give you the strength to keep the vows that you're about to make. Hari Om, Om Bhur Swaha. So when I say swaha, Idam Vishnavedam Namama, Om Swa Swaha. Idam Achutam Idam Namama. So if I can have just the bell ringing at this point. Thank you. Om Bhuva Swaha. Idam Narayanam Idam Namama. Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha. Idam Anantam Idam Namama. Hari Om. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Swaha Hadam Gurvedam Namama Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadhati Swapadantikam Swaha Hadam Rupayamidam Namama Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagna Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Swaha Hadam Gurbhyodam Namama Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pushtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauramani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Swaha Hadam Prapadamidam Namama Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pushtaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Nityanamine Shri Varshavani Videvidaitai Karpabde Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dahine Prabhave Namaha Madhya Rujvala Prema Dashi Rupanuga Bhakti Dashi Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostate Namaste Gauravani Shimurtai Dinatarine Rupanuga Varutapa Siddhanta Devantaharine Swaha Hadam Bhakti Siddhantamidam Namama Namo Gaur Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtai Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Bhujayate Namaha Swaha Hadam Gaur Kishoraya Midam Namama
Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchitananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Swaha Hadam Bhakti Vinodaya Midam Namama Gaura Avir Bhavame Swam Nirvideshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bom Shri Jagannathaya Te Namaha Swaha Hadam Jagannathaya Midam Namama Vanchakalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindhubh Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Swaha Hadam Vaishnavebhyo Idam Namama Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha Swaha Hadam Gauranga Devaya Midam Namama Om Panchatattvamakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktiyavataram Bhaktyathyam Namami Bhakti Shaktikam Swaha Hadam Panchatattva Midam Namama Om Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindabhyo Swaha Hari Om Om Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Swaha Hadam Govindaya Midam Namama Om Bhur Swaha Hadam Vishnavedam Namama Om Bhava Swaha Idam Achutaya Midam Namama Om Swaha Idam Narayana Midam Namama Om Bhur Bhava Swaha Idam Manantaya Midam Namama Sanpurnam Hari Om. Perfect. Thank you so much. So the Homa has been performed, which means we've asked the Lord to give spiritual strength to the vows that you're about to make, because now we're ready for the Mangal Fera. So the Fera is where you will now walk around the fire 4 times, and you will make your 4 vows. That's why we normally have 4 pillars in the mandap. The 4 vows are dharma, artha, kama and moksha. So this is the foundation of married life. Dharma means you're vowing to live a life, a religious life with values and principles. Artha means economic prosperity, that you will earn money, but do so through honest, integrity ways. Kama means desires, that whatever goals, ambitions, desires you have in life together, you will fulfill them as a married couple. And the final fera is what we call moksha. Moksha means that we live such a spiritual life that by the end of it, we can break free from this cycle of reincarnation and attain union with God. So these are the 4 vows of married life. So for this, everyone's gonna get very active now on the mandap. So we have Nikhil and Mehul. If I can ask you to come and stand just on this side of the mandap. And everyone else, you're going to be throwing the flowers for the Mangal Fera. So we have 2 thalis. We have one on the front and one at the back here. So I can ask you all to please come from both sides. You can take off the plastic wrapper, and then you can throw the flower petals as they walk around the fire. Yeah, if you can just move as far back as they go. Perfect. So Maya, if I can ask you just to hold this into your hands. So Nikhil, you'll come for the first 2, and then you'll come for the last 2. With your right hand, it's going to get a quarter, so by the end of it, the ball should be full. Okay. So, Nikhil, what's going to happen with your right hand if you give your brains? Wonderful. So, Maya, you see there's a stone in front of you, the red decorative stone. If you touch your right foot to the stone, when you hear the word swaha, you can offer the grains. Not yet, not yet. Give it a little bit more. When you hear the word swaha. Om Vishnu Devam Kanya Harimyakshata Sa Imam Deva Vishnu Praito Munchitam Apata Swaha. So you can just put that on the chair behind you so you get I'll hold it for you. Now Maya, you will lead first 3 feras. Okay, so if you like to come, manage to get used to following, yeah? If you hold the right hand, you will lead the first fera. First fera, remember, represents dharma. Dharma means you're vowing to live a life in harmony with values and principles. Ladies, you can sprinkle them with flower petals. And Master, if you want to sing Belu Belu, you can sing Belu Belu. Ready? First fera. Perfect. Manish, if you come round the back. Wonderful. So give a big round of applause. First fera is completed. So just around here, Manish, yeah? Yeah. Now remember, the Olympics were in Japan and they're finished now. So as you go around the fire, you don't need to sprint. You can go very nice and slow. Really, really slow. It's not a track. Okay. Nikhil, if you like to come and give a third of that bowl, a nice big handful. That's it. By the way, the brothers doing this means that you're going to support the couple if they ever need any support going forward. So Maya, if you see the stone again, you touch your right foot to the stone. When you hear the word swaha, you can offer the grains in the fire. When you hear the word swaha, yeah, very eager, huh? Hari Om Vishnu nu Devam Kanya Harime Yakshata Sa Imam Deva Vishnu Praito Munchato Mam Uta Swaha. So this second fera represents Artha. Artha means economic prosperity. So may your household be full of abundance and do so through means of integrity and honesty. So ready for the second fera. Give a big round of applause. Second fera now has been completed. Wonderful. So Mehal, if you'd like to come, and you can give half of the bowl. So you want to give a lot of support to Maya and Manish if they need. Okay. So Maya, you see the stone? You can take it off, and again, when you hear the word swaha, you can offer the grains. Om Vishnu nu Devam Kanya Harim Yakshata Sa Imam Deva Vishnu Praito Munchato Mam Uta Swaha. So the third fera is Kama. Kama means whatever your aspirations and dreams in life, you will fulfill them and work towards them together as a happily married couple. So now you can lead the third fera. Wonderful. A big round of applause. Third fera has been completed. So we're now ready for the final fera. So, although we will offer this together, Manish, you'll get to lead one at least. So you finally get to lead. And then as you go around, I want you to come back and stand in the exact same position as you are now. So Mahal, if you'd like to give the rest of the bowl, give everything. I'll take the bowl if you. Thank you. Wonderful. So, Mahal, if you'd like to touch the stone again. Om Imam Mishmana Marohashme Vatvam Stirababat Vashantam Apabadasva Machatvam Vishatam Adha. When you hear the word swaha, you can offer the grains. Om Swasti Krite Shri Ajutaya Swaha. So the final fera is moksha, to break free from the cycle of reincarnation and achieve union with God. Manish, you can lead the final fera. Wonderful. So give a big round of applause. The fourth fera is complete. So I'm going to give a timer first. So now we play the game. Whoever sits down wears the trousers. When you hear the word go, you can do it. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Very nicely done. You'll give a round of applause. Very nice. And you can all take your seats. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. So we have some more gifts to be presented at this point to celebrate the Feras. Wonderful. So if the best man and best girl, Darshini, if you want to come back on, you can come back on. Okay. Wonderful. Okay. So now we're coming towards the end of the ceremony. We're going to be offering 3 more offerings in the fire. This is called what we call the Priyashchita Homa. Priyashchita means Shama, forgiveness. So we're going to be asking the Lord any mistakes we have made during the course of this ceremony to please forgive us and to bless us. So very important for you both, but very important for me being the Maharaj as well. So if you can hold the tali left hand, and again remember your right hand, your 2 middle fingers and your thumb. And I've got a new Maharaj's assistant, so whenever you hear the mantras, you can just ring throughout. Hari Om, Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Janadina Yat Pujitam Maya Deva Paripurnam Tadastu Me Swaha Om Aprada Sahasrani Kriyante Harnishamaya Dasohamiti Mamatvashamasvamadusudanaha Swaha Om Pratigita Govinda Name Bhakta Parinashyati Samsmritya Pranam Samdhanayamyaham Swaha Hari Om. Perfect, wonderful. So we're now performing what we call the Purnahuti. Purnahuti is considered the final and most important offerings into the fire. So this will be special. This will be fruit that is normally offered. So if you can take this in your right hand, both of you. And if you both stand at this point over the fire. It's said that the Purnahuti, however you envision your marriage to be 10, 20, 30 years in the future, this is the moment where you can meditate on that and ask the Lord to fulfill it. Because this is the final offering, it says the Lord will very much listen to your offerings. And therefore, if you have any dreams, aspirations, you can meditate on them as we offer. So when we do the Purnahuti, there are 2 mantras which we recite. And we'll be reciting these mantras, all of us together, just to give this part of the ceremony a bit more power. So if anyone has ever wanted to be a Maharaj, now you've got your chance to fulfill that dream. Because we're all going to do this together. And if you make a mistake, no problem. There's strength in numbers, so if someone says it wrong, it's fine. Okay, so if you can all say with me, Namo. Okay, a bit louder. Namo. Brahmanye. Devaya. Go. Brahmana. Hitayacha. Jagat. Dritaya. Krishnaya. Govindaya. Namo Namaha. And the second mantra is a bit more tricky. It's a bit louder. You can all say Om Purnam Adha Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udhachite Purnasya Purnam Adhaya Purnam Eva Vishishyate. So for this one, and then you can fold your hands, meditate on your marriage together. And when you're ready, you can then take your seats. And that's the final offerings. can take your seat. So at this point, if I can ask any guys, Nikhil, maybe if you can just take this, the fire, what we can do, we can just take it outside, just so it doesn't create too much smoke. That way it will keep things a bit more spacious. Yeah. Wonderful. So Maya Manish, if I can ask you both to please stand and come to the front of the mandap. We're going to be performing what we call the Sapt Padi, or the 7 steps. And it said this is the part of the ceremony which will really give strength to your relationship to withstand the test of time. So so 7 more vows you'll be making. I believe you're going to be reciting these vows, so I'm going to be giving you the microphone. One each. So as they make these vows, we will give our blessings to them, that they can keep the vows, because making them is very easy, keeping them is the hard part. So when you give your Ashirwad, you'll raise your hand and you'll say, Jai. Okay, so let's have one practice. Everyone, hands in the air, loudly say. Okay. Sounded like a curse, not a blessing. Let's try again, hands in the air, loudly say, Jai. So we need to do this 7 times. So before we begin, Maya, I need to give you a warning. Om ma vama padena dakshina padam akrama. This mantra means don't let your left foot cross beyond the right. In other words, touch the suparis with your right foot. Only you'll be touching, but the vows will apply to you both. And you're working from left to right. Yeah? So if you touch the first supari, I'll do the mantra, and then you can recite the vows together. Hari Om, Om Ikam Ishe Vishnustva Nayatu. So you can take your foot off, and I'll give you the mic.
With the promise to nourish each other, we take this first step together.
With hands in the air, loudly say, Jai. May you forever nourish each other. Step number 2. Hari Om, Om Dvi Urje Vishnustva Nayatu. May the Supreme Lord bless this couple with power.
With determination to grow together in physical, mental and spiritual strength, we take this second step together.
With hands in the air, very loudly say, Jai. Step number 3. Om Trini Vrataya Vishnustva Nayatu. May the Supreme Lord bless this couple to keep the vows.
With promise to preserve our wealth and prosperity, we take this third step together.
Hands in the air and loudly say, Jai. Step number 4. Om Chatvari Mayobhavaya Vishnustva Nayatu. May the Supreme Lord bless this couple with supreme happiness.
Vowed to serve each other with happiness and harmony, we take this 4th step together.
Hands in the air, loudly say, Jai. Step number 5. Om Panchapashubhyo Vishnustva Nayatu. May the Supreme Lord bless you with wealth and virtuous children.
With promise to care for our healthy and long-lived children, we take this 5th step together.
Hands in the air, loudly say, Jai. The children one always gets the biggest J for some reason. Step number 6. Om Shadraya Spaushaya Vishnustva Nayatu. May the Supreme Lord bless you with spiritual wealth.
With the vow to be together forever in all responsibilities, we take this 6th step together.
Hands in the air, loudly say, Jai. Finally, step number 7. Om Sapta Saptebhyo Hotrebhyo Vishnustva Nayatu. Om Sakha Saptapadi Bhava Sakyam Te Gamayam Sakyam Te Mayoshaha Sakyam Te Mayoshtaha. May the Supreme Lord bless you to be the best of friends and never break this sacred bond established.
With the promise of everlasting friendship and true companionship, we take this 7th step together.
Hands in the air, loudly say, Jai. So, ladies and gentlemen, they're officially married. We'll give them a big round of applause. Final declaration. So being Maharaj means paying attention to detail. Every thali, every supari has to be double checked. Sometimes I get things ready and a masi comes, takes my thali and goes off to do a vidhi somewhere. And in the middle of the ceremony I'm thinking, "Arey, where's my thali gone?" So I have to double check everything. So I'm going to test you now, your attention to detail. Can anyone notice anything different in the mandap? You can take your seats. Any small detail that's changed? Anyone seen? Yes. Pardon? The supari's fallen. And they've swapped seats. So swapping seats means whatever was mine, I now offer to you. Whatever was mine before, I now offer to you. And it means that Maya is now closer to your heart. The heart is slightly to the left, which means she's now closer to your heart than even she was before. So any vidhi you do now, in the house, anywhere you go, Maya, you'll always sit to the left of the groom. And as a married couple, we're going to be performing the kansar, which is the feeding of the sweet and the breaking of the fast. So here's a special nut-free one for you. So this also sets the attitude needed for a happy marriage. It means marriage isn't always about me and my desires and my needs. It's about actually serving each other. So now you will feed each other sweets. So Manish, with your right hand, you can give Maya a sweet. And Maya, if you like to feed Manish, we know he's hungry, so if you can give him a healthy amount. Oh, wow. Keep it. Yeah, okay, wonderful. And now we're going to be doing the Akhanda Sobhagivati, which is the final blessings, specifically from the married ladies. So we have Shuddhaba, Chundralekhamasi, Kapila Kaki, Kamini and Ami. If you'd like to please come into the mandap, and you can, in the right ear, you will whisper the words Akhanda Sobhagivati. So you can come from behind the mandap, and you can say this to them. That's fine, you can stay seated. Come from the back. Yeah, wishing you the best. I'm really happy for you. So we now come to the end of the ceremony. So Maya and Manish, if I can ask you both to stand and just come to the front of the mandap. So I can say now that finally, with a very happy heart, that culturally, traditionally, scripturally, and most importantly, spiritually, I have the joy of announcing this couple as husband and wife. So I believe there will now be photos in the mandap. So please enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you all so much. Jai Shri Krishna, Hare Krishna.
don't really get much. Hello, Mum and Dad. We love you very much. Jai Shri Krishna.